Hey everybody, welcome to H4G Games. We're doing something a little bit different today. We're going to be talking about our top 5 third-party SNES games.
Yeah, everybody does like a top 5 Super Nintendo games, and it's usually just, well, to be honest, Nintendo is knocking it out of the park during that generation, so it's usually the same things like Link to the Past, Super Metroid, Mario. It's the same thing that you hear a million times.
Yeah. We want to do something a little bit different. But third-party titles, and keep in mind, of course, this is our top 5 list. You know, we haven't played every Super Nintendo game, and I'm sure you have a different top 5 list yourself.
Yeah.
You can definitely feel free to put your list in the comment section below. Maybe there's some overlap. Yeah. Maybe there's no overlap whatsoever.
Maybe you'll want to kill us.
Hey! Send your death threats to h4games@gmail.com.
My personal phone number is...
Number 5, Terranigma. It was a third game in the kind of unofficial Soul Blazer trilogy. So the Soul Blazer trilogy had Soul Blazer, Illusion of Gaia, and then Terranigma. They were these kind of action RPGs-ish. They were really fun. Amazing, beautiful music. And Terranigma really just, it took all of those elements from those other games and expanded on the combat system. The graphics were improved, and it had these like crazy, like pre-rendered cutscenes.
Yeah.
In between, you'd like, you know, rebuild these land masses, and then you'd complete a task, and you'd see like this crazy little like image or cutscene, and you'd be like, wow, the Super Nintendo is doing this? The one thing that sucks about Terranigma is that it never came out in the US.
Yeah. So
you can either get a Japanese version that you don't understand, or a European version that costs like $200.
Fuck.
So it's not really worth it, but you can get reproduction carts nowadays, and I do recommend it if you have the opportunity to do so.
For number 4, we put one of our favorite games to play with our friends when they came over, Turtles in Time.
Turtles in Time.
Now, admittedly, it is the shortest game by far on this list.
Yes.
But that game, I mean, sometimes you'd play it 2 or 3 times with your friends when they'd come over. Like, back to back. Because, I mean, it was just so good. Today, you get all these, like, you know, indie games on your computer, and they're really short, but they just don't pack that punch.
Everything about that game was practically perfect.
It kept the flow going just constantly.
The music was good, the action was good, and it was very simple to pick up and learn. They had just like a slight combo system, like ever so slightly.
And that, the difficulty settings really, you know.
Added some replayability. It was awesome.
Yeah. Although that HD remake they made a few years ago, that kind of sucked.
Stick with the original, guys.
Yeah, they shifted bosses around, they cut levels. It's better just to get the cart.
Yes. Plus, the cart is very 90s radical.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you need the 90s radical if you're doing
It is
Turtles.
bodacious.
Yes, it's bodacious.
Most excellent.
So, number 3. I did 4. Yeah, I'm going to try that again. So, number 3.
Can tell you aren't German. It's an Inglourious Bastards reference.
What? Number 3, Mega Man X.
Yeah, I mean, I love dropping some X at the club.
Yo.
Oh, I mean, Mega Man.
Yes, Mega Man
X.
This is going to be 90% weed whacking.
Yeah.
They have been weed whacking my neighbor's lawn for like 90 minutes. My lawn is like as far as I am to John times 10. Like, I don't know what they're doing over there.
Mega Man X-rated.
Yes.
It was the first one where Mega Man actually had a dick.
Yes. So, Mega Man X.
Mega Man X. I thought, you know, I loved the Mega Man games on the NES, and I was really worried that they wouldn't do so great on the Super Nintendo, but damn, they brought their A game with that one. I think Mega Man 8, was it 8 or 7 came out on the SNES? And that was pretty solid too, but I think that came out after X. Mega Man X was that was the real opener. It was the opener.
It
was extreme.
It was everything you would expect, like, you know, from an upgrade.
Yeah.
You know, if you like the original, it's like, what is the new generation going to do for this series? And then you got Mega Man X, and it's like new gameplay features, upgraded graphics, more colorful, to some degree, really more accessible, too.
Yeah,
in terms of difficulty level.
And being able to hop back up on things instead of just getting your ass killed, like...
Yeah.
I definitely, I love those old games, but goddamn did I break some controllers over that.
Yes, and I think that as we moved into the SNES era, you know, developers began to, in general, move away from that sort of arcade difficulty. I think Mega Man X was more accessible and truly an upgrade. 2. You probably saw this coming. If you've been watching the channel for a long time, you know that I love
Ridge Racer.
Secret of Mana.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
Love Secret of Mana. I have played the hell out of that game. And for the sake of this list, I'm going to say number 2 is a combination of Secret of Mana and Secret of Mana 2. That is Seiken Densetsu 3. The Secret of Mana series was a little bit interesting. The first one, Seiken Densetsu, came out as Final Fantasy Adventure for the Game Boy. It was a great little game. And then Seiken Densetsu 2 came out, and we got that here as Secret of Mana. And really, it was like Final Fantasy mixed with Zelda.
Yeah.
But multiplayer.
Back then, that was pretty revolutionary, and they did it really well. And with that multi-tap, playing with 3 people...
That was awesome. Imagine Zelda, but 3 players.
Yeah.
And but in the 90s.
It was a huge game too.
Yeah. It was originally supposed to be a launch game for the SNES CD.
Really?
Now we've been hearing a lot in the news that prototype, you know, potential prototype, if it's real or fake,
could be real,
has been found, but it was supposed to originally be for the SNES CD, and they, you know, obviously that system didn't end up working out, so they stripped about approximately 60% of the material out of the game and put it onto a cart.
So there was more of that game.
Way more.
God damn it, Sony. I wish we would have had
Nintendo
that.
too. I mean, like Nintendo.
Yeah, they both
kind
of shit the bed on that.
Yeah, exactly.
At least we got a game.
Exactly. And Seiken Densetsu 3.
Yeah.
It really was everything that Secret of Mana was, but it had a 32 megabit cartridge.
Ooh.
It was gorgeous. It had a different class system for different characters, and you could pick 3 characters, and all the characters had intertwining stories, right? So like you'd pick, kind of choose your own adventure, and choose your own adventure further with the class system.
Yeah.
And just a gorgeous, gorgeous world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 1. We're gonna keep on that RPG train. Now, this game didn't necessarily, you know, invent everything it did.
Yes.
Didn't exactly write the book on it.
No.
But damn, did it perfect a lot of this stuff, and was just such a solid, thick, juicy package. Chrono Trigger.
Chrono Trigger.
I mean, it's still selling today. It sold a ton on the Super Nintendo. They sold a whole bunch for the PlayStation. Then there's been like the DS. It came out on there, and they actually released some dungeons that weren't finished. So we actually finally got the full game years later.
And also another example of a Square RPG or like action RPG like Secret of Mana that was really good for RPG fans.
Yeah.
But we're kind of... I wouldn't say getting over Final Fantasy, but wanted something different than the formulaic battle screen of Final Fantasy. Then that just kind of like very systematic JRPG. Wanted something a little bit different.
The active turn system in it. That was really interesting, where it was like, instead of just sitting there forever flipping through a menu like, okay, well, this costs this many points, but does this much damage. I know this is going to be a longer fight, so what's my point to damage ratio on this? What am I going to do? No. They're going to still keep attacking you when you're in that menu, so it kept it very frenetic the whole time that you were in there.
It was like Secret of Mana, but like one step closer to Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it was kind of almost like a battle screen.
Yeah,
it was like a faux
in-between,
battle screen. It was kind of, exactly. It kind of split the difference between Zelda and Final Fantasy. That's our top 5 list that John and I came up with. We did a little bit of arguing on what certain games, where certain games would place on the list. But let us know, again, your top 5 third party, not first party, SNES games. Let us know in the comments below. We hope that you enjoyed.
And if you have differences of opinions, go fuck yourself and send us a death threat.
H4Games@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Winky, winky, winky.
Turtles in Time.
Turtles in Time.
Oh, yeah.
It is such a kick butt game. I've played this game so many times I can't even count because it's so short.
Let's go,
Let's
gentlemen.
do it.